Hi guys, it's Kenny Martin again. Welcome back to our journey to play the piano and sing your favourite songs with very little musical knowledge and very little musical training. You don't have to read music, you just have to have a half decent memory, and it's a simple process. In the first video we just discussed my musical journey, what my aspirations were in playing the piano. Absolutely no intentions, of course, in becoming a master pianist. I didn't want to sit and do a score from scratch. I wanted to sing songs that I liked and I wanted to put my own spin on these songs as well, not necessarily singing them verbatim, because a lot of the songs I sing are guitar songs, and one of the nice things about that is quite often they haven't been heard on piano before, so you can put your own little spin on these songs as well. So today what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through the process, but I keep saying that you don't need any musical knowledge and musical theory. Well, I've got a little bit now, but not an awful lot. But it took me a couple of years before I actually started to learn what I was doing or understand what I was doing on the piano. And I wish I had known that back in the day when I started, because I think it would have helped. So even though most of it is memory and memorising chords, etc., I think it might be prudent to include that in this video and give you the most basic understanding of the keyboard and of scales and of chords. And I do think that would help. And then it basically comes down to memory and practice. And listen, practice is important. I try and play the piano every day. I even take a little piano with me when I'm working. I'm away about, I don't know, 12, 15 nights in the month, and I take a little piano with me, a little Yamaha Reface, and I can sit and play. It's got little built-in speakers, and I can sit and practice and play new songs on that keyboard, which is fantastic. So I love that stuff. But you know, the thought of going to a music teacher, the thought of kind of sitting down and learning to read music and to practice and practice and practice until you get a score right, and that most people hate that. My daughter, my granddaughter, should I say, Alice, in this video up here in a second, she went to a music teacher. She had about 6 lessons and she absolutely hated it. She never got to play a song. She just literally was learning some theory. And she came up to the house and I said to her, look, do you fancy sitting down and we'll try and play a song, and I'll show you some chords, and even if you don't understand what you're doing, if you can memorise what that chord is, you'll be able to have some fun on the piano. Perhaps once you're enjoying the concept of playing on the piano, you can, indeed, then learn music, learn how to do it. However, to this point, I just want to play some songs, and I think there must be millions of people out there who are in the same boat, who just want to play music without the thought of having to make it a drudge, because that's what it's going to be. Let's just learn some songs and make it fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over to the piano now. We're going to sit down and I'm going to show you some very basic theory to help you on your journey, and then we'll move on to how I get the songs to the recording stage. Okay, we'll see you in a minute. We're finally at the keyboard, and oh boy, it's a scary looking thing. In this particular keyboard we've got 74 keys. 74 keys, mind blowing. So other keyboards have got 88. However, you can also get little ones like this. This is my Yamaha Reface, and I use this for practice, and it's got some incredible sounds as well on it, and you can link it up with your big keyboard through MIDI and play it through here. It's incredible. So I travel and I use this a lot while I'm away. It's a lovely little keyboard, but this is incredibly scary. But it really doesn't have to be scary, because actually even though we're using all these notes on the keyboard, there is actually only 12. So these are the 12 here. That's your 12 notes, and then you're back to your C again. So this here, middle C, first thing to talk about. Middle C is your, in the middle of the keyboard there's two black notes, and the note directly to the left of that note is middle C. And that's a very important place that you want to be starting on your keyboard journey. There's only 12 notes. There's only 7 white notes, which are these ones. And there's only 5 black, which are these. And we just repeat these time and time again. So from this C to this C is what you call an octave. So that's me playing an octave there. But that's repeated all along the keyboard, irrespective of how many keys is on. There's another octave. There's another octave. Yeah? So we've only got really 12 keys to worry about. They're just repeated over and over again. I guess the first thing to talk about probably is intervals. But very simple intervals. Basically, when I say, or somebody says, it's half a note up, or half a note down, or a whole note, what they mean is this. It's very simple. So we have your C, and if we go up to the note directly next to it, which in the C's case is the black one, that's a half stop. Okay? If we do a whole, we're going from the C to the next one, which is a D. Okay? So that's a whole and that's a half. Okay? So what's very interesting with this is it's very simple the way that the keyboard is laid out, because it's just done in letters, isn't it? So this is middle C. So if we go back to, that's an A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Very simple. And then, if somebody says that it's a C sharp, what you do is you just go to half a note above. So from the C to that note, that's a C sharp. That's pretty simple. But you'll also get what you call flats. And flats are very simple, because flat is just half a note down. So for instance, the D flat is to go to the left of the note this time. So D flat, D, D sharp. That's simple as that. Let's look at scales, because having the knowledge of basic scales is very good. And there's a very simple formula. So we'll start off with the C again, because it's the easiest one to start with. It's a simple formula. It's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So I've already explained to you that from the C, one note, that's a half, and that's a whole. So we want to go whole, whole, half. So from the C, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. All white notes. Very simple. And that's the same for any note on this keyboard. Yeah? So let's do the B. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Yeah? Very, very simple. So get that into your head. That makes it very, very easy. And I'm going to show you a very simple way of thinking about major and minor chords. So what's a chord? Well, that's a note, that's a C. But a C chord, the C major chord, because we're in the major scale here, the C major chord is dead simple. So it's C, which is called the root. We miss the next one, we press the next one, we miss the next one, and we press the next one. That now is a chord. And there's many ways you can play a chord. But the formula is this, and this is for any major scale. It is root, which is the C. 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by 3. And that works for any chord. Okay, so if we go to let's go to E. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on a black note this time. That's your E. Very simple. And then let's say we go an A. 4. And that's the A. So these are all your major. Let's go minor. And that's the same for any key in the keyboard. Let's go minor. So it's 3 and 4 rather than 4 and 3. It's very simple. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. C minor, sad. C major, happy. Sad. Happy. And that's again, that's the same for any chord. So we go for a G minor. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? G major. Happy. Sad. And that's the way it goes all the way through. Very, very simple. Let's talk a little bit about inversions, and I know it's kind of, most people wait a little bit for this, but I think this is important because you can invert your chords, and what that means is you're using the same notes as you're using for your root chord. So you see here, so that's C, E and G. So if I went down here and I said I'm going to use the G, and I use the middle note as the C and then the E, that's the second inversion. And by using this inversion, it's easier to move your hands around. Because often you're only moving one finger. Whereas when you're on the C, the C root chord, you're moving a big distance. So this here, you're really literally either moving just one finger, one note, or your hand just very slightly, as opposed to the massive movements that you have on the other hand. So that's the first part. We've talked about the amount of keys. There's only actually 12. You just have a play with these. We've talked about intervals. That's half a, and that's a whole. We've talked about the scales. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Very simple. So all just practice. That's great. In the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the software that I use and see if we can take a concept of a song, get the chord chart, look at the chords, see how easy they are to play, and put together the song and see how it goes. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.